Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Okay, everybody. Hey, we are back. And I am joined by a great guest. I am joined by Michelle Dickey. Michelle, welcome back to the program. Everybody loves you when you come on here, and so nice to see you again. How's your day going?
Yes, hi Casey. It's great to be back. Yes, yes, it's going. It's hey, we are going. We're always grinding at something. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. Now, if the audience doesn't know about the Michelle Dickey show, Michelle is a best-selling author. She is a consultant. Also, she is a trauma specialist. And if you want to know how to spot a narcissist, look no further. Michelle has like a spidey sense. She knows why it happens. She knows what to look for. She knows the triggers. She knows the red flags because she's been through this and she's helped so many people get through it. There are a lot of people out there that just lack that thing, that empathy, that empathy and the compassion that a normal person has, right? I mean, how do these people get this way, Michelle?
Oh gosh, there's several different ways. One of the most common ones is when they are spoiled as a child. Or spoiled, when you give a child everything they want all the time, no discipline, no structure, no anything like that, they're going to grow up and they're going to have that ism mentality. They're going to have that all about me attitude. And if they don't get what they want, they're going to lash out with the abuse.
That is so true. So true. And I just saw something and I wanted to, I made a mental note because I wanted to tell you about what I saw. I saw this on the news. It was in this neighborhood where these kids, I'm not too good with knowing how old they are, but I mean, they could walk. They were like, I guess, like toddlers, but they could speak. So maybe like 3 or 4, something like that, maybe. And there was a couple cops in the neighborhood, and these kids are going up to them. They're punching the cops. They're calling them pigs. They're cursing at them. They're telling them to get the F out of here. At this age, look, I don't live a sheltered life, and I'm just like, how does this happen? And you tell me that kid is going to have a chance? I mean, that kid is not going to grow up and be an abuser and someone who's going to sniff out good people that he or she can take advantage of.
That you know what, that was spot on. That's like one of those mind-blowing things.
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, we were not taught. That was not. It's an amazing thing because it's like we learn in social psychology, though, just how strong social influence really is. And so that's another way people get this way, and especially if that's what they're around all the time. And so if they're around that abuse and they're dishing out the abuse and it seems normal to them, that's what they're normal.
Would your professional opinion be that they see that and they're emulating it, or there's just nothing going? These kids do whatever they want. There is no discipline, or could it be both?
Oh, well, it could definitely a combination of both, but that you're right about the emulation part.
Okay.
Because God even tells us in scripture that we are going to like kind of share and adopt good ideas, work together as team, things like that. That's not what he means, but he even says in scripture that we're not to emulate like that. But we know also with childhood development that they're going to do that. They're going to emulate what they see their caregivers do. And that's why a lot of times I remember growing up, my parents would say, we have to be mindful because the girls are watching. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. So, but I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but the narcissistic abuse, it is very slow and subtle over time with that trauma bonding process. Mm-hmm. So this is where I wanted to make the announcement because
awesome.
Yeah, I came across a question over there on Quora and it stuck. So I was like, okay, so I'm talking to God. I'm like, I'm going to do something with this. But he's like, yeah, okay. So sit on my spirit and come, I'll working it out, right? So the question was, how is the trauma bond formed? And so I was like, And then God reminded me, my child, you've got your toxicology degree. We hear a lot of people talk about how the trauma bond is just like a drug addiction. Well, in my toxicology program, that's the core of what I learned about with toxic substances and addiction and how that alters the brain chemistry. The exact same thing happened during the trauma bonding process, during the abuse, the exact same thing. So there's your connection. And so what I've done is we have now launched CHA, Consulting for Heightened Awareness Academy.
Nice.
And the first course is all about how the trauma bond is formed. And I break it down in its simplicity. So each chapter comes with some lessons. And what we're doing, you're breaking down each lesson, there's a short video lesson, and then along with it, you get lesson notes, and then a little fun pop quiz. Now, they're not graded. They're just for the learner to test their own knowledge.
Got it.
But all I do is I just bring in the key players in what's happening during the trauma bonding process. Because there's a lot that goes into it, especially when you talk about drug addiction.
Yeah.
But I'm just pulling the simple, basic component, and I'm piecing them together for everybody, because that's what happened for me. So that's how my toxicology program, that's what it was meant. I thought I was going to be in a lab, but no, God had other plans, obviously.
Right.
So, but I needed that knowledge, because I didn't even, when I was in my master's program, I had not even come across, I was still mentoring survivors of abuse. I hadn't even come across the term trauma bond yet. But when I did, it clicked, especially the first time I heard someone say that the trauma bond is like a drug addiction. I went, ding, 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 ding. Yes, because all of the alteration in the brain chemistry that occurs.
Must hit that same part of the brain. Must hit that same part.
Exactly. So that course is up and it's open for enrollment now. And we're going to continue to bring more stuff always.
Nice.
Because there's a lot that goes into trauma healing and trauma recovery. And it's like I've said before, it is totally 100% possible. There's many of us who can attest to that. So we just wanted to bring you all the information. We are doing biblical and scientific truth.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So with God's wisdom and some basic scientific facts, because I know for me, when I had an understanding of what was going on up there during the trauma bonding process, I was able to go, okay. And that helped me get quicker. It quickened my healing process and it smoothed it out, because you know how we are. It's human nature. We got so many whys to all of this and how to all of this.
We got to know everything. We got to figure everything out. There's a reason for everything. I got it.
Yeah, it was human nature. And once we get the why behind what's going on and the how, then it can make better sense for us. We can actually work it out.
Now you got a chance. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so during that, with that understanding, a solid, good understanding, and I don't throw a bunch of overly sophisticated words. Remember, like on the website, it's all about simplifying the complex. So that's it. Just point by point, I break it down.
Awesome.
Thank you. And for to give you all an idea, chapter 1 is all
I was going to ask you if you could give us an example, because I really want to know about this. This sounds like it's right up everyone's alley, kind of.
Right, absolutely. Because a little bit of the psychology and the sociology, and then toxicology, and then of course the information I'm learning with the Arizona Trauma Institute, and of course God's Word. So we kind of bring in all the concepts together. That's right. God and everything. And so we bring in all the concepts together. And chapter 1 starts with understanding the ego. Because we could read about that all day long. We know that narcissistic abusers have an overinflated and fragile ego. But exactly what is the ego? What its function in our daily life? So that's what chapter 1 covers. And that leads into chapter 2, which is understanding dopamine. So each lesson leads into the next one, because it all ties back in together. as to explaining what is happening, because a lot of times we were unaware that when the abuser was dishing out all those love bombs to get us trauma bonded to them, what it was doing to our ego. We didn't realize it at the time. So that's going to help. We have a solid understanding of that, and it goes into the next one. And then chapter 3 is all about understanding norepinephrine. You see where we're going with this?
Yeah, yeah. So you
Okay.
you're kind of like have a jumping off point, and then this
Mhm.
is going to give you this info. So now that we got this behind us, let's go tackle the next one. But I have a question though.
Yeah.
In no way, say if I take the course and I do all the work and everything, maybe it's part of the process. You telling me, I don't know, but I I, I hope I don't feel any sympathy or sadness for these people because
Well,
so many.
it gets to that point. It really
Really?
does. Yeah, it does, because we learned that if we continue to let them pull at our tug at our heartstrings like that, then that's giving them control over our
Oh,
emotion.
okay. So
That's what they want.
is our goal just to be clear and say, okay, good luck, do what you need to do. I'm going to go do this, go this way.
Love them from afar.
Got it.
We love them from afar by not. We don't hate them. We know we don't need to fear them. They've got their issues. Everybody's battling something that we don't know anything about anyway. So we're to be kind, obviously, still do that, but we just know not to get emotionally or personally involved with them.
Understood. Understood. Like I don't like lemon. I don't like orange starburst. Someone else can have them. Maybe someone else can do something good with those. But I'm going to stick with the cherry and the strawberry. That's just who I am.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
That's great. That's great. How do people get a hold of that? How do they get
It's
involved in something like that?
Yeah, it is the website is www.CHAAcademybtbw.com. But the BTBW is our brand, breaking the trauma bond to the world, overcoming those unhealthy attachments to people and things, like that, because that's what's going to help the survivor going forward once they spot it and they go, okay, we don't want to get involved with that person. And so they won't get trauma bonded to them, because you'll be able to pick up on it really quick.
Gotcha. And we'll give that out again at the end of the program. But you got a lot of people that wanted to ask you questions. Did you want to go there now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, Mr. Producer is off camera because I happen to need glasses, which I just haven't gotten right. I can't see that far. So Mr. Producer is going to read the question.
Okay.
We have Ryan in Las Vegas. Will abusers try to use social media to make people trust them?
Oh,
absolutely. You told us
absolutely.
about what to look for. That was awesome. You got to talk about that again.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. On social media. And I've got a great example because it's happening right now. Okay. Over on my, on our Facebook business page. Well, on my actual, we have to have a profile and before we can create I'm more active on the business page, just so everybody knows. That's what, I wanted the Facebook business page, but I'm getting inundated right now with a bunch of friend requests, which, it's fine, but it's just the last 24 hours, it has blown up, and the majority of them are male. So that's like, hold up a second. So yeah, they will. And the way that they'll do it to try and get you to trust them, okay, they'll use social media. They'll go ahead and hit the follow or the subscribe. And that way they get access to, I don't do Messenger right now at this time, but I get DMs on Instagram. So let's use Instagram, for example. So they'll come to Instagram and they'll follow you. Then within probably 24 hours or so, they'll send you a DM, and it might be a simple hello, because remember, the abusers out there are also getting the same information. So they're kind of trying to be more crafty with how they do this. But it doesn't take long at all, because they have no impulse control. So that's right. So eventually, let's say you test the spirit. You say, okay, let's see what this person's about. And then you say, well, hello, or you wave back, and then they'll come out and say, how are you? And just that general conversation. And then it's like that one case study I had from Facebook, by the way. It was not even within the first few hours of communicating back and forth that he blurted, he's like, so are you single? And I let him know that I was 100%, I'm 100% committed to God and Jesus in my life. And there's no room for that.
Aren't there websites for that people want to meet people? Isn't it? They have websites for that, don't they?
Well, yeah, they've got
dating sites, right?
That's what went through my mind was, wait a second, that's really how they'll do it. They'll use a social media site as a dating site. So when they send you that message, and then you just have to, be, patient, but then they'll come out with a love bomb or asking you kind of it's like you just met this person.
Yeah.
So
explain to everyone what the love bomb is again.
A love bomb is simply put, excessive flattery. Unnecessary and excessive flattery.
And you told me sometimes you said sometimes it's backhanded though.
Yeah, sometimes it is. That backhanded compliment. There'll be a love bomb and a devaluing statement in the same sentence.
Okay. And they're testing you the whole time. This is how they're testing you.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. And they're testing to see if they can get information from you. Especially watch out for extremely personal questions. That's one thing, because
are you single like that?
Yeah. That's like, hold on a second. While that would be considered normal or whatever, it's like, I just met this person.
Right. Yeah. It would be normal on a dating site.
Right. Yeah. If you want, like they need to go on over to the dating site. That's right.
Right.
So, because that went through my head, but I decided to turn that one into a case study because, hey,
yeah, we learned from it, so it's good that you do that.
Well, because I got to learn. That's how we learn these red flags. Then I can bring them to everybody, and especially I put them out there over on the YouTube channel, so that way it's there for anytime they need to go back through, because there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. All the little subtle tricks they try and play. And you'll be able to, you will sense if they are, just trying, you kind of get a sense of it even online, if they're trying to flatter you, like overly so. And that makes it really difficult. See, that's what happens during the trauma bonding process. It'll make it difficult to tell the difference between a genuine compliment and, because there is a difference. So it takes a little while to sort through that. But once you overcome some of the trauma and you're breaking the trauma and you break that trauma bond or whatever, it gets easier to distinguish between, that and a genuine compliment.
Got it.
Because, the love bombs are pretty much, well, a lot of times they're going to be very pushy with them. That's the red flag right there. And then also forceful. Like you'll sense, even online, you can sense that they're trying to be forceful with it just by how the phraseology that they use. And so and that's why we're so big on that discernment, because you really have to step back and analyze it or assess the situation too, to be able to tell. Because again, the enemy likes to try to be crafty.
Yeah. Right. And if you haven't got your tools and your weapons, you might sometimes you might succumb to one of these, because these people are good, right?
Well, they are up to a point. That's one thing they are. Many will refer to these abusers as master manipulators, but I feel like that's giving them a bit too much credit.
I do too. I like that. I'm going to take that stance too. I like that. Let's give them too much credit. Yeah. If you're a scumbag, excuse my language, then you're one of them. Doesn't matter how you get there. If you are, you are.
Right. That's why I said, I was like, oh, wait, we got to quit giving these abusers that much credit, because that's what they want. And so it's kind of like with everybody's going to have haters. So that's part of life, right?
Yeah.
And so we learned that, hey, you know what? That's a reflection of them anyway. But they are good manipulators, yes, because they especially as they get older, they've honed their craft, so to speak.
Mhm.
And so, and they do it over and over and over. It's an amazing thing to watch too,
You know,
as they,
one of the screwed up things you told me last week, you told me these people are so calculated that you may not see them. It might be an ex from 10 years ago, but they'll find out that maybe you had an uncle or an aunt that died or something like that. All of a sudden, guess who pops back up? I'm so sorry. Maybe we should get together and talk about it.
yeah, that exactly. That would be another way they will use social media. Yep,
That
especially.
was a
And
great question.
yep, that would be
What
another way.
what else would they use? Like, what else should people look for? Like, what if I'm the S bag and I'm writing to you and you don't reply. I say I try and love bomb you a little bit, give you a compliment or something like that, and you don't write back. Then maybe a half hour later, I write back again. Is that something to look for?
That okay, I have a let's go ahead. I'll put it this way. I had one, she was trying to pretend like she wanted some help. So again, one chance and test the spirit. So I allowed the DM conversation to go on for a few days. You know, I was I was trying to answer some questions for her, but nothing. It's a classic thing. You can tell when they can hear you, but they're not listening. So like when I say no means no, but they keep trying. That's one way. And so what she had done was gave me the same sob story over and over, even after I had provided her some information and some things. And then she divulged that it had been about 2 years since the breakup. And I said, okay, wait a second. Because usually within 2 years after breaking up, if you've gone no contact or even limited, over a 2 year span, you should have made some progress, but no, she was still stuck. And I said, oh, I see what she's doing. She's not a survivor. She's an abuser. She's trying to use that as a pity party to get attention. That's another red flag.
Wow.
Over that. That's why we got to test the spirit. And so sometimes we have to allow ourselves to engage just enough to gather that.
Because you
if they're
wouldn't
going
have
to come,
found that out unless you didn't engage at all. I got you. Okay.
right. Because if it's that goes right back after you have provided some sound doctrine. Remember, our God tells us that there's going to come that time in life where people are just going to refuse to hear the sound doctrine. So I was giving her solid suggestion, tips, advice, facts about narcissism and the abuse and stuff like that. And by the third day, right back around to the
You
same
got the
top.
motive within three.
Yeah.
Within three, you got the motive.
Yep. I said, okay. So I ended up having to block her. I know that they don't like it, but I was like, I got to cut this off. It's a waste of time and energy. I said, I said, there's real survivors out there that can use this help.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to reserve our energy for. But you can pick up on that because they're just, it's that sense that you'll get when they come at you with that same old sob story, and you'll just be like, okay, they're not making even a baby step of progress at all. And I'm
There's no
like,
progress, not at all. You can tell that this would go on forever, right?
oh yeah, because if I had exactly, that's the other thing everybody can watch out for, because if that person is just kind of reliving that sob story over and over and over and over again, like eventually people get tired of hearing it. Because it's like, oh, you're not supposed, every survivor goes through a momentary phase of a little bit of that, but we're not supposed to stay there.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's like the past, we don't live there. Our past does not define us. We leave that in the past where it belongs.
Yeah,
So
and you gave them the point of view that they should be working on. And that did nothing.
yep,
Apparently, they didn't even listen to you. It was,
right.
I'm going to tell you about. I want you to feel bad for me, and
Uh-huh.
I want you to be the person that I can always go to, and I know you're going to feel bad for me because I got
Yeah.
you that way.
Yep, exactly. And so I was able to identify her spirit, and
Nice.
she likes to dwell in that, dwelling in that sob story. And I was like, nah, so you're not serious about healing. And that's
Yeah.
why we have that disclaimer on the website. It didn't take me long to have to put up that boundary. Like, wait a second. If you're just looking for a pity party intention, then my services are not for you.
Yeah. Well, for the people who are not trying to take advantage of your kindness, not trying to take advantage of your time and what the good things you're doing, how do people get involved with you? How do people get past the trauma? How do people get back to before they were hurt by a predator?
Okay, well, I will tell you one thing real quick to, as a wrap up on this, that we will never go back to being who we were before, because we're going to become better and improved versions of ourselves.
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to we don't lose our good attributes, but we're not ever going to be able to go be that particular person again.
All right, thanks for
We're-
correcting me on that. I came out wrong, but
No,
thank
no,
you for the-
it's okay. I know what you meant.
okay. All right, cool.
Okay?
All right,
Because we're going to evolve and we're going to grow from it.
much better.
That's what's going to happen.
All
So
right,
people,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yep, I was going to say people can check everything out over on the website. That is cdhrwdrmd.org. And you can also find the link to the CHA Academy right from the navigation menu down there at the bottom. There's CHA Academy link that'll take you to it. And the website for that again is www.chacademybtbw.com. You can check that out, all of that work. You can also call 704-245-4340 for additional information, or if you have any questions about our products, books, services, the academy, what have you. And I always recommend that if I don't get to the call right away, to please leave a voicemail, and I will always return the call within 24 hours, during business day, business hours, that is. And I highly encourage people, if you do leave a message and you would like for me to, a good time, if you know a good time for me to call you back, then kind of include that too.
Yeah, makes sense. And, and you always give us a great quote.
Yes, absolutely. So that's that for today. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and your support. Until next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Michelle Dickey, everybody, what a great guest. Great show. Thank you so much. And we will speak soon. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.